Hello all, I am Muhammad and today I want to talk about Grunt, the JavaScript task runner, and I want to show you how can we integrate Grunt in our application or the website, and how can we utilize it and make the best of it. So I expect most of you know already what is Grunt. And for those who don't know, Grunt actually is as they mentioned here, it is JavaScript task runner, so you can integrate it in your application in the code, and you can give it any task that you can run on your code, on your application code. So for example, in Grunt there is a plugin called concat here. It is a task. What actually does it do? For example, you want to break the style sheet for the web page into multi files. For you have a style sheet called header.css, another style sheet called container.css, and other one called footer.css. So instead of working in one big file, you break the main style sheet into different files. So what you want for the production, you want all of them to go to one file, which is the main style sheet.css. So you can use this task here, this concat task. You just tell Grunt, I want to concat these three files into one file every time you save any change in any one of the files, of the style sheet files. So we will see how can we do this. Even you can install a plugin for minifying the style sheet or minifying the JavaScript code to give it to you minified production version, not development friendly reading version. So, or you can write your own task for whatever reason you need. So let's see how can we install Grunt in our project. How can we use it from the terminal? First, to use Grunt you have to have npm. It is a package manager, is used by node.js. So all you need, you can go install node. You go node.js, download the package, and once you install node in your machine, by default you will get npm. So you can npm command manager also, so you can use it in the terminal here. So once you get node installed in your machine, all you need to do is you go to the terminal, you with administrator permissions, you just do like this, install -g for global install for all the users in your machine, Grunt CLI, and by this command you will be able to install Grunt command line interface. I already have it, so I'm not going through this process again. So what I want to do with you is create a project. We create two different style sheets, we add some content, and we will get this task Grunt concat our two files to one file. So let's go over this now. Let's create a project here. Okay, Grunt. Okay, so we have Grunt now here. We need to integrate Grunt in our project, which has name Grunt. So let's change the directory to desktop/Grunt. Then let's install Grunt itself using npm. Okay, now I'm adding the package.json to the Grunt here. We can enter. Yep, okay, yes, whatever. Okay, so let's see what did it add. It added this file called package.json. Let's refresh the folder. Yeah, what's the content of package.json? It adds the name, version, it adds the name, Grunt, the license, the author, the just it initialize the package for you, but not yet. We don't have Grunt yet in as dependency in our project, so we need to move back here and let's clear the screen. Now after we initialized the project to add package.json, we need to install Grunt itself. So what we do is npm also. Make sure you are still in the project. npm now, as you see, I am installing Grunt locally to the project. Okay, here we are. Yes, we have it. We have the node.underscore modules. We have Grunt under it, so we are good to go. So now we need to create the file that has the tasks itself, that you can write your own task or integrate another task and use it in this one. So we need to create a file called grunt file.js. So all we need to touch grunt file.js. Make sure the first character here is capital, as you see, G, grunt file.js. Here we are, grunt file.js. So as I said, it is task manager. So let's write out a simple task here. Okay, Grunt, to use Grunt you have to know node.js, but you don't need to be knowledgeable with node.js. All you need to know high level of node.js. For example, we need to do like this to use node here. Module.exports equal function. We give it Grunt as dependency. Oops. Let's write our own task, grunt.register task, and let's give it names called testing function. I think here's a mistake here. So now we have this task called watch, which prints I think this unresolved function or method print line. I think I got confused a little bit here. So it's called console dot what's it called? I confused the C++ one. Console dot print line. AGS. Console.log. Okay. I'm sorry for this. I don't know. Just got confused a little bit here. Sorry again for this. Console.log this. I am here. Grunt. We save. Let's run the task we wrote. Grunt testing. And here we are. It is a task. Once you run it, it gives you the result. And here the task, it should only print I am here Grunt. As you see, I am here Grunt. Very good. So now let's move to the real scenario. Let's create here two directory called style sheets. Okay, inside it we will create directory called build, this for the production version, and another directory called development. Okay, inside the development we will create two files. First one, header.css and footer.css. Okay, let's create here the main style sheet, main or theme.css. So I want to write my code here like this. Dot footer background color red. So what I want to do, I want just once I hit save here, I want both of these designs go to theme.css. I think I wrote the footer code in header, footer, yeah. I want both of them to come here to theme.css. So to do this, first we need to integrate the task itself. All you need to go, you have to go to plugins, and there are a lot of plugins here to do different tasks. For example, today we'll try concat task. Here it shows how to integrate it, how to install it in your application. So we'll take this copy, and we go to the command line here, sudo So now it is installing the task called concat into our application. And if you go to package.json here, you will see it as added as dependency, div dependencies, grunt contribute concat and the version of it. So let's go back here, let's delete this, and let's see how can we integrate this task in our application. Let's go all the way down, and here it says first this, it says that inside grunt.init config you write like this, the concat and the content of concat. So for each third party plugin to use, you have to write the task for it inside grunt.init config. So once you run grunt, it goes here and initialize all the tasks, then you execute, then you call them as we will see now. So let's take it, copy, and inside the grunt.init config you can write different tasks, not only concat. You can write the minifying, whatever you need. So options, no, we don't need separator. So here it says concat from source to destination. What we need to do here, we say style sheets dash development dash header dot css.
It's 12 o'clock.
Okay, and here footer, and the destination, it will be build dash theme.css. So far so good. So once grunt starts initialization, it includes this task concat, and concat, it will concat these two files, the two files header and footer from the development folder to build dash theme.css. Now we need to register it, and to register it, all you need to say grunt dot load. You first to load the task itself, which is grunt concat. Okay, let's see here. Yes, to enable it. So even let's copy it, paste. Okay, now we enabled the task concat. Now let's load it or register it. Register task, let's give it task concat, and here okay. Now let's do this. We come back here, grunt, first clear the screen and say grunt concat. behaves weirdly here. Let's make it default. Let's make sure it's correct here. Style sheet. Okay. Okay. Let's run it again. Grunt concat. Yeah, here we are. Just I wrote it in wrong way here. So I added a default task. Default task, it automatically will run concat. So as you see here, I said grunt concat, or even you can write grunt only without concat here, because by default it will go and run this task. The task is inside the array. So it says done without errors. Let's go and see what will happen here. And here we are. Theme, it has all the changes you need. Now every time should I go and run grunt? No, actually we shouldn't do this. What we need to do is we install a task called watch, and this task, all it does, it keeps monitoring your code. And here we are, it's the first one. It keeps monitoring your code. Once you make any change in the files, it automatically push the changes to theme.css. So let's go and install grunt contribute watch. We need to register it or load it. Let grunt to load the task in our application. Then let's see how it's working. It says watch like this. So we go to init config, and here in our case we will name it as CSS because we are writing CSS, and we will target all the changes happening in development. So in style sheets development, for in any folder inside the development, for any file that ends with CSS. Any changes happen here, we will run task concat. So any change happen in these files, suddenly we'll fire the concat task. Options, no, we don't need this. And we need to load this task also, watch. So once I run grunt, it will initialize and run watch, which will run concat. Here we are. Let's run grunt again. As you see now, it's running. It says running watch task, and it's waiting for any change happen in the project. So what I want to do, let's move this one to another view, and let's come here to header.css. I want to do like this, black Okay, font size 20. I want to save now. I'm going to save. Let's see here. Is waiting. File, change it, running, concat. So it said file, change it, running, concat, destination, concat task, file, theme.css created. Let's go here. Yes, here we are. And the changes automatically pushed to theme.css. So as you see, any change I save in header or footer, it will reflect here. Okay, so most of the tasks here developed by Grunt network, you can install them, and most important, you can trust them for your project. You can come here, you can load whatever task you like. You can load minifying tasks like this contribute.css minifying, or uglify is nice one here by Grunt team, as you see. So you can trust them for your project. And you know, same process also for any task here. You install the dependency in your project, then you load it, and then you come to the description for this task and how can you use it here. So simple, as you see. So that is all for today with Grunt and how to use it with terminal command line in your project. Hopefully you got the point, and thank you very much for your listening.